My question to Laxmi now. You are a foodpreneur and traveling for food. For the benefit of our viewers, please explain about your passion of food blocking and traveling. Lakshmi?
Certainly.
Yeah.
My passion for traveling for food comes from a very long time. For example, I remember traveling to, the remote parts of Kerala, Tamil Nadu in search of, the best idlis that are there. And I found that, something very interesting in a place called Rameshwari, where, the technique of cooking an idli is different, where they have a mud pot, where they put a muslin cloth on it, where they put the idli on it, cover it with another mud pot. So I think, India has myriad of kinds of cultures to learn about, and, the entire length and breadth of the country. So what has happened is this travel experience of mine has helped me in set up a new menu for my own venture where I'm a foodpreneur. It's a cloud kitchen, a home kitchen where I run. It's called Everyday Salad. I feel the most boring part on any menu that you see today will be a salad. Even if you go for a buffet or anything, no one would want to venture, to eat a salad. So I feel, it's a challenge to make a salad interesting. And I think my travel experiences have helped me a lot with this. For example, I have something called as a Kachampuli grill. It comes from, the humble recipes of Coorg, where they use this sour agent called Kachampuli. Then I have something called as Robusta, which is an inspiration of the ghee roast of Mangalore. So I have that on the menu. And then, and also the techniques of cooking. Like, for example, how do you not use a lot of oil? Because right now, most restaurants have only deep fries and, things like that. But how do you change the way, with this? Like I have hand ground, pounded, dry roasted and toasted and things like that, which is an alternate to just deep frying all the time. So this is what traveling has done to me. It has opened my mind. It has opened my experience to a great extent, and it has helped me learn a lot from all these travel diaries all these while.
The food is very important part of travel, right? So because it's like whenever we travel, in every destination there will be a specialty, a traditional food. So can you please tell us what kind of a food you're blogging and from which part of the world?
Okay. That, like I said earlier, also during my chat, my travels are mostly in India, and because I feel India has a plethora of food and culture that needs to be explored before I even step out of the country. Though I've traveled to a couple of countries, I still would love to talk about Indian food.
Please. Yes,
the,
please.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Jigar Tanda in Madurai is something that took my heart away. It is a very special drink that is made with seaweed and things like that is added to it, and milk, and it's a drink. So that is one thing that, if at all you ask me the 10 things that are on my bucket list before I die, Jigar Tanda will definitely be one. And yes, so another is the Rameshwari idli, like I said. Then the puliogare that Tamil Nadu has. And, even in Pune, there is a place that has misal pav. So I remember having this, I was there in Pune for about 7 days, just traveling by road. And I remember eating this misal pav at least once in a day.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and then the another thing is also in Hyderabad, the biryani.
Yeah. What is this misal pav? Misal pav is like the beaten rice or something?
No, it actually is given with
pav.
pav,
The
with
bread.
bread pav, yes.
Okay.
They give a batani, they say batani
okay.
yes. And on that they add save and mixture and, some chutneys, some 2-3 varieties of chutneys. So the mixture, the batana ka dish is called ussal, and when they add everything together, it's called misal. So that is something that was very unique and very, flavorful. And also the biryanis of the south, like for example, Calicut has amazing biryani, which, is made with the short grain rice called jirga samba. So that was something that fascinated me without, anything rich. Because when we go towards Hyderabad and north, the biryani starts getting very richer. With a lot of cashew nuts and things like that. Whereas in South, the cooking is very humble, whereas the technique of cooking is quite lengthy. So I found all these elements quite different. And also when you come to Karnataka, in North Karnataka, there is something called as susla, which is made with our humble charmuri. And the dish is absolutely fascinating for its simplicity, for its, the way of making it, and, the way they present the entire thing with the mirchi and things like that. So yes, these are the things that are on my favorites.
Do you give food consultancy or share your research to restaurants and eateries around? And what is your best dish?
Yes, I do give consultancy here because what is the use of knowledge if you cannot share it?
Correct.
So, yes, I remember doing this cashew festival in a restaurant that is about 15 years old, introducing an entire menu for about 20 days just on cashew nut. For example, it is called Bibbe and Konkani, Bibbo or Bibbe. So there was Bibbe curry, there was Bibbe gyros, there was Bibbe biryani, there was, a lot of North Indian dishes and Konkan dishes with it and things like that. So that was something that interesting that we had introduced for the first time in Mangaluru, Cashew Festival. And secondly, also my travel journeys have bought during food festivals and restaurants. The menu has, in helping out them sketch out a menu for them. For example, this kottu paratha, which is of Tamil Nadu, I remember having it, made in a fusion manner and having it on the menu during a Navratri festival and made a veg version of it. And for example, this sweet called Katmandige that is very famous in one of the parts of Karnataka, bringing that over here and making a lot of fusion dishes of just not because authentic is very difficult to be eaten. People of Mangalore, for example, you will not like a Gujarati food that has mostly everything sweet. So how do you get suitable to the palate of Mangaloreans? So that is something that I have done, and my best dish definitely is the biryani. It is,
Okay.
it was a trail from Hyderabad,
Yeah.
the spices that they use and the technique that they use in Hyderabad. So that is something that in one of the restaurants in Mangalore, we had done and experimented in a
Okay.
matka.
Let's take tourism to a little broader sense. So, like, what I really want to ask is, like, why tourism is necessary for a nation? And do you think that India has potential for the growth of tourism industry? And what more is required for the development of this industry in India?
Yeah. Shall we start with Laxmi, because you are mostly traveling in India?
Yes, definitely tourism is required for a country for two reasons. One is for economic reasons, as well as, the reason for aesthetics. I think it's more important that we, preserve our culture, our heritage, and it is there for others to come and experience. Because I feel our country is like a world. The snow-capped mountains of Europe, you'll find it here. The deserts of, your Saudi Arabia, you'll find it here in Rajasthan. The rainfalls of the tropicals, you'll find it here in our country. And I think, this entire country of ours is a miniature world. And,
Right.
but I think, we have failed to put our country out there on the world map, saying that, it is a very, safe country for travel. It's a very beautiful country to know. The people are, very accommodating and very, very nice to be along with. And I feel, they treat guests like almost gods in our country. That is the beauty which no other country does. And keeping all this in mind, I think there is a huge scope for tourism where the government as well as the individuals have to come together and bridge that gap and somewhere make our country worthy of open to all tourists all around the world.
What is your message to people amidst living with Corona? And what is your call to viewers to support News Karnataka and why?
To your first question, I think when life pushes you to your extreme, you have two options in front of you. One is to crib about it. And second is to make use of it as an opportunity. I think Corona has pushed all of us into, oblivion, into, saying that it is very difficult to survive in this. So other than survival, I think 2020 is, all about making the most of it and turning that into a beautiful opportunity, which I think I have done it with my everyday salad. Because what happens is, a lot of restaurants got shut during this pandemic. There was a lot of issues that were happening in, our own city with most businesses, and even restaurants were most affected because of it. So the other option was to start a home kitchen, cloud kitchen, do something else. Most restaurants that were not going digital and all those things have suddenly after pandemic have gone digital.
Yes,
They
Lakshmi, carry
changed their
on.
strategy. They're out there. they've gone out there and gone digital. So I think that's what Corona has done to you. You have come out stronger from because of this pandemic. And secondly, with News Karnataka, I think this is the only crowd-funded channel that I know from Mangalore, which I feel that you have objectivity in your coverage, because when most of the media houses are funded by corporates and other things, there is scope for the news to not be very objective. But I feel News Karnataka has been true to its virtue by giving us very objective news, which is one of the fundamentals of having a news channel. And I think it's doing a fabulous job.